NAC here, that's Trainer of Champions. I want to look at NAC today. Right? I want to look at a few things about NAC. What NAC does, what is it to start with? Let's have a look at that. Right? N-acetyl-cystine, that's what it is. Right? Cystine is an amino acid which comes from polypeptides, which comes from peptides, which comes from protein. So we see a breakdown there, it's a cascade if you like, and then we end up with cystine. N-acetyl-cystine is a supplement that is great for replenishing glutathione. Glutathione is a massively strong antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. Without glutathione, your immune system would literally crash. So replenishing the glutathione is done through N-acetyl-cystine. That's the first thing. I have a few notes down here because I've got like so many bullet points, I don't want to miss anything. I want to be concise. So it's essential for immune health, which is a good thing as well. Oxidative stress, that is something, when you can say it right, oxidative stress, that is something that is caused within every cell in your body. So what we've got is the instability in cells. So cells are losing an electron and that's firing on and it's hitting the next cell and that cell loses an electron. This is oxidative stress, oxidative damage, right? So we have antioxidants. So NAC is a very strong antioxidant, it's a very strong anti-inflammatory. It reduces oxidative stress and oxidative damage to cells as well. So we have something else there. So detoxing, right? It plays a major part as a detox supplement. If somebody has undergone toxic poisoning, paracetamol overdose, etc., anything like that, the NAC is usually administered in very large doses, so it's very good for treating people who have overdosed or people who are any kind of toxic overdose in your body will be not just regulated but completely dealt with if you use enough NAC. So as we're poisoning cells, as we go through life we're poisoning cells, packaging and different things like that. The NAC is a very good supplement to protect your liver, which is really doing a lot of work, and it's also going to protect your kidneys as well, while it's also acting as an antioxidant, reducing inflammation in your body and reducing oxidative stress. It helps regulate the glutamate, which is the glutamate, which is the most important neurotransmitter in the brain. Now, if you have excessive glutamate and a depleted glutathione level, right, you end up with brain damage. You end up with a lot of disorders like bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, lots of different things like that. So basically it's good for regulating brain functions, good brain functions. It's good also because it helps produce glycine, keeps the upregulation of glycine within the body as well. Also relieves symptoms of respiratory conditions. So if you have a cystic fibrosis, for instance, NAC can help you deal with that. Asthmatic, NAC can down-regulate the asthmatic symptoms. It can upregulate the lung functions. It will affect directly the mitochondria within the cells of the respiratory passages. The endothelials, it works directly on endothelials, it works directly on muscle cells and all these other cells that are involved in you breathing, in you flexing, in you moving, your locomotion, everything. So we're looking at something which is really multifaceted. It's a really excellent supplement. COPD sufferers experience long-term oxidative damage and inflammation of lung tissues, causing airway constriction, shortness of breath. So basically, supplementation for that would be 600 milligrams. You usually get this supplement in a powder form in a capsule. If it's a tablet, forget about it. We'll go on to talking about why we always deal with powder and not a tablet, a solid tablet. The main reason is, I'm just going to mention it quickly, is if you get binders and magnesium stearate and a lot of different things like that, the tablet has to be broken down. How much of it then is actually useful, bioavailable to your body? You might absorb maybe 13%, you might absorb up to 26%. the bioavailability of the substance being in a powder in a capsule is a lot better. So basically it will be 600 milligrams twice a day to improve lung function. That's if you have COPD. Now that sounds good, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? A lot of people don't know this, they have no idea. Bronchitis, anything like that, it's going to help and increase your lung function. As I've already said, asthmatics will benefit from this. Oh yeah. So you don't have to be on massive amounts of medication. NAC, I'm not talking about like it's a miracle thing, but I'm talking about it can give you 10% improvement, up to 10% improvement. We already mentioned cystic fibrosis, but we've got also in pulmonary fibrosis as well. It can help in that. Learning behaviour, memory functions, memory deficit, right? So we've got mitochondrial functions within the brain, etc. The NAC can benefit you in all them, so that it can benefit your brain in your learning ability, your cognitive function, and your ability to follow functional patterns. Age-related. This is a biggie, right? So all your age-related outcomes, how quick you're going to age, how quick the oxidative stress and the inflammatory damage will cause your cells to age. Well, we've already said that this is an outcome, right? So this has been dealt with as well through the introduction of the NAC supplement. How much would I recommend a day? Well, I'm not a doctor, so I can't prescribe, but what I would recommend is that you would take times 2 600 milligram capsules per day. So you're taking 1,200 milligrams per day. I won't take it in one dose, I will take it in 2 doses. And it's usually taken on an empty stomach with plenty of water, so it breaks down quite fast. Anybody who's suffering memory loss or anything like that, anybody who's suffering cognitive decline or anything like that, increase in bipolar, anything like that, Alzheimer's, it can really help you, benefit you. Now the degree that it can benefit you is dependent on how severe your condition is and also how long you're using the supplement. In some conditions it may only benefit you up to 2%, but 2% is better than 0%, isn't it? Fertility. That's a good one, right? I'd even forgotten about this, right? In 78% of cases of male infertility, NAC has improved fertility. So we're talking about motility, about sperm motility. We're talking about how it can improve that fertility. So it's improving, it's working through the mitochondrial system of the sperm, etc. And it's working in your body in the same way as it would in any other cell. This is interesting because it says 468 men with infertility were treated with the same dose as well. It's times 2 600 milligrams of NAC. But they were also treated with 200 micrograms of selenium for 26 weeks, and it improved their fertility. It improved their fertility by up to 30%. Now that's good, isn't it? So this is not a way. This is not a drug. This is using something that's natural, and it's actually occurring, and it's not a drug. Polycystic ovary syndrome. Basically, NAC will also augment the ovulation cycle, so it can help you when you have polycystic ovaries to get pregnant, which is another good thing. Stabilising blood sugar by decreasing inflammation in fat cells. Yeah, so it can stabilise your blood sugar exactly by decreasing inflammation in fat cells. And basically it's improving then insulin resistance, isn't it? Healthy insulin receptors can properly remove sugar from the blood. So we've hit a number of different things. I have a list that just keeps going and going and going here, but I'm going to pause it there, right? Because I think I've given you enough already on the NAC. Right? You wouldn't normally get this much information from anybody, and you can find some of these facts on Google, but Google's very vague, and you would really have to do your research and go into individual items. But NAC has been tested for now over a decade and proven to be absolutely fantastic as a supplement. So it's a supplement that I recommend to all my clients. The athletic ones, when I'm PTing somebody, definitely to improve performance and to prevent any raises in inflammation. Come on, when you train you're going to get a raise in inflammation, but you don't want an excessive rise in inflammation. And the same thing is when I'm treating a client also. I don't want that inflammatory phase. I can't stop it. We actually need it because it's part of your recovery, but I don't want that inflammatory phase to go out of control. So the NAC is going to work in regulation with your body, and basically it's naturally occurring. Be sure to keep watching, tune in next time for more tips, and I'll give you more valuable advice like this, because when I was growing up there was nothing like YouTube or anything like that, any place that I could find out this information. Over the coming weeks I will give you tips on supplements, the best supplements to use. We're going to do a little bit of mindset coach stuff over the weeks. We're going to do a little bit of training tips over the weeks. These are things that I've picked up in my very long career of over 35 years as a coach, as a physical therapist, and as a diet and nutritionist, etc.